Marketing and Sales Alignment Index. This is where you discover if misalignment in marketing and sales is limiting your company's revenue growth. Hello, thank you for viewing this presentation. I'm Charles Besondy, President at Besondy Consulting and Interim Management. For over 30 years as a B2B marketing executive and consultant, I've worked to close the gap between sales and marketing. Today, mid-tier B2B companies look to me for strategies, leadership, plans, and training that align marketing to the needs of the business and boost marketing's contribution to revenue. Now, my passion for solving the alignment issue has led to the development of tools, resources, and programs to help top management achieve real breakthroughs in revenue performance. One such tool is the Alignment Index, which was developed in collaboration with Richard Epple, managing partner of Dennery Corporate Development. Now, we're pleased to share the index with you and hope it is helpful. And now to the presentation. First, I want to establish some context for the Alignment Index. We'll look at what typically stands in the way of achieving a breakthrough in revenue in our companies. Then I'll walk you through the index itself and give you an opportunity to calculate the index for your organization. I'll also suggest considerations for how to calculate the cost of misalignment. While the awareness of misalignment is high, and there's no doubt about it, companies are trying many things in order to solve the problem. And I'll list the typical solutions and tell you why their results fall short of expectations. Finally, we'll wrap up with a very brief commercial message about a unique program we've created for aligning marketing and sales. What blocks organizations from significantly increasing revenue? Here's a list that should be familiar to you. In your experience or your current situation, what is the leading obstacle to a revenue breakthrough? Certainly there are market and economic factors that impact us, just like we've been experiencing since late 2008. There can also be obstacles from not having a competitive product or one that isn't positioned effectively in the market. Time and budget restraints are always present and are acute following a period of downsizing. The resources just aren't there to push more or larger programs for revenue generation. Sadly, many companies have lost highly skilled sales and marketing people. The skill gap in these areas handicaps an organization's ability to create and execute on a higher plane. Often, the 800-pound gorilla in the room that nobody wants to talk about is the gap in relationships. A lack of clear, honest communication and trust in sales and marketing often is a governor on revenue growth. Efficient processes and best practices in sales and marketing are frequently missing, which block higher levels of effectiveness. CRM and marketing automation systems may be in place, but are misused, underdeployed, or underutilized. And finally, there is the alignment gap between sales and marketing, which is usually recognized as a lack of common worldview and common processes. If this was a survey question, what would you select as the primary obstacle to a revenue breakthrough? While all the usual suspects we just discussed limit revenue performance in our organizations, the number one factor for most companies is a lack of alignment in marketing and sales. When we take an informal poll in our webinars and speaking engagements, around 60% of the respondents select lack of alignment as the number one hindrance to revenue growth, not external factors. According to a 2009 survey by the CMO Council, well over half of sales, marketing, and channel management professionals in the survey reported that their companies do not yet have any formal programs, systems, or processes for unifying sales and marketing. Furthermore, just 16% described their sales and marketing functions as being extremely collaborative. Wow! 84% think the relationship is something less than extremely collaborative. So I ask you, could a football team win the Super Bowl if the team members were only 16% collaborative? 40% viewed these key relationships as being relatively good. 35% thought the two departments had intermittent relations and interactions. About half the respondents viewed marketing as somewhat effective in supporting sales, and about half viewed sales as somewhat effective, period. So two other organizations, Marketing Profs and Math Marketing, discovered in a major international survey that 1/3 of companies in the survey saw marketing and sales alignment as a mission-critical issue for company success. Okay, 33% of all companies is a lot, but considering the previous statistics from the CMO Council, why aren't 50%, 70%, or more of companies searching for better methods of sales and marketing alignment? Now, I'm afraid the reason this situation has lasted so long in our companies is that we're accepting misalignment as normal. It's seen as literally a cost of doing business, an occurrence as natural as the ebb and flow of tides. Too many company managers have become blind to the real impact of misalignment. What about you? What does misalignment look like? How do you know it's present? Richard and I created this simple alignment index to help organizations recognize the lack of alignment and calculate the costs. Today, we're giving you access to it. In each column, there are 8 characteristics. 8 characteristics relating to culture, 8 characteristics relating to process. Read each list and give yourself a point for every one that is present in your organization. You'll end up with a total for each column between 0 and 8. Then, divide the total for each column by 8 and multiply by 100. Go ahead and calculate your index now. We do this in client meetings, and the results are always eye-opening, especially when the CEO and heads of marketing and sales are in the room together. You'd be surprised at how often there is agreement. Some of the characteristics may be slightly present, others may be dominant in your organization. If they exist at all, count them. Again, for each column, add the points, 0 through 8, divide by 8, multiply by 100. At this point, please pause the video and calculate your index for process and your index for culture. When you have your number, click play to continue. So how'd you do? Here's a chart that tells you where your company stands. The lower the score, the better. You'll want to look at 2 things. Where did you score relative to the chart? And is there a major difference between your cultural alignment score and the process alignment score? You may believe that in your company, marketing and sales are sharing effective and efficient processes, but the culture and attitudes are problematic. Or you may experience a very supportive and committed culture that is hamstrung by lack of good shared processes in sales and marketing. This helps you to focus on the area to transform. Most companies we speak with have an alignment index of 37.5 or higher. Lack of alignment is academic and costly. There are soft and hard costs associated with misalignment. We've listed a few here and invite you to think about the cost your organization is enduring. If you're honest with yourself, the price tag of misalignment will be shocking. Richard and I spoke with one company recently with annual revenues of about $20 million, who estimated that the opportunity cost to them in terms of revenue was $20 million a year. In other words, misalignment was standing in the way of their company doubling in size. Think back. In the last 24 months, which of these actions have been taken in your company to gain alignment in marketing and sales, if any? And how'd that work for you? Did results happen as quickly as expected? More importantly, did the improvements stick? Companies try everything they can think of in pursuit of the holy grail of alignment. They bring in a new head of marketing who can work better with sales, or a new head of sales who can work better with marketing. They'll reorganize and put marketing and sales under the same executive. Their HR department will plan nice retreats for them so the teams can bond and climb rocks together. They might lock themselves in a room with a lead generation consultant until they all agree on how to identify and score a lead. They may even look to technology as the answer, choosing to deploy CRM or marketing automation. Now, don't get me wrong. Each of these solutions has merit and can achieve incremental results, if only for a season. The results seldom stick because they aren't built on a solid foundation. These companies are looking for revenue breakthroughs in the wrong places. Or more accurately, they are looking for revenue breakthroughs in the usual places. Here's the key. One has to transform both the cultural and procedural aspects of sales and marketing to achieve real breakthrough revenue performance. For hard-charging marketers and sales types, it's not easy to think that culture matters, but it does. In our experience, Richard and I have learned that when it comes to something as entrenched as misalignment, it takes a double-barreled approach to break the inertia. Great results have been generated by companies who have ceased to plan in silos and instead have integrated the sales planning process with the marketing planning process. This step, when done correctly, creates a unified plan for how the company's revenue goals will be achieved. However, amazing results, breakthrough results, are possible when the teams in sales and marketing are really committed to a big goal, a big plan, and they work within an environment of trust, integrity, respect, and open communication. Getting there isn't easy, but it is doable for companies serious about taking revenue performance to the next level. And the transformation can happen in a relatively short period of time. Richard Epple and I have collaborated on a set of consulting programs called Revenue Intensity. One of our programs is the 6-week Revenue Breakthrough that includes the double-barreled approach to culture and process alignment that I spoke of earlier. If your alignment index for culture or process was 37.5 or higher, I encourage you to reach out to us for more information. And here's how to reach us. At revenueintensity.com, you'll find our blog and resources on the topic of aligning the organization behind sales. From the shortened link at the bottom of the slide, you can download a brochure on our 6-week Revenue Breakthrough program. In closing, a commercial message about Revenue Intensity. Revenue Intensity is a set of consulting programs committed to helping clients achieve a breakthrough in revenue performance. We accomplish this goal by redefining and putting into action how the organization supports sales. You see, the concept that revenue performance is the scorecard for the entire company, not just the sales department, stands at the core of each of our programs. Therefore, revenue intensity principles are applied throughout the revenue value chain. It brings the organization closer to the customer. It establishes breakthroughs in product innovation and aligns marketing and sales. Results are rapidly accomplished by working with cross-functional teams on two fronts: implementing world-class processes and transforming organizational behavior. This is Charles Besondy. Thank you for viewing this presentation, and we are looking forward to speaking with you.